Roll sound, please.
Rolling.
51 Frank, take 2.
Rolling quiet.
Sound speak. C marker.
Action.
I think if you pay close attention to details every day, if you could think of some way every day to make your movie better, then the movie comes out good.
That was cool. Come watch. I just want to tighten it up a little bit there. The better the production design, the better everything's going to look.
We've had that attitude from day one on how can we make this better.
Well, one of the trickiest things we had to do is first find them all. And with any kind of film like this, we're always up against, okay, what's real and what's kind of crazy. And that was our biggest challenge initially, is we didn't want to get too cartoonish, but at the same time, we wanted to have some fun with it.
We wanted something that fit the bill creatively, and it had to be practical. And we found this one in Torrance, and we knew when we found it, it was the one.
Over here, this is the Chrome Dome. You got cars, they got rims.
In this instance, we really had to go into each store and say, hi there. We need to kick you out for a month. We're going to totally get rid of all your interior dressing and possessions. We're going to store them, and then we're going to put in our own sets. And here's a bunch of money. Please bear with us.
And then I had the back alley, and the back alley was crucial because we had the scene when they smoke weed and then get high. So we needed a great back alley. No other strip mall had a back alley. So now this one was starting to come together. It had the alley, it had the sign, the businesses were being cooperative.
Ultimately, it was a great deal for them because not only did everyone get paid for the usage of their stores, but we actually got to leave the location better than we found it, and that's always a good story.
And then it was just a matter of designing the stores.
This one, of course, is your family business, Bros Barbecue.
The biggest one was the barbecue, and that was a total recreation. It was actually done in a pet store. So what we had to do is take all the pets out and then introduce our own Good Time Barbecue interior to it.
Boys look pretty good with your little rent-a-cop outfits on.
I really believed in the whole family part of the story here, being we had Uncle Elroy and Pops and Mom. And so I thought Brothers Barbecue should just be warm. Like there was a lot of love they put into it. You know, all their craziness and whatever, but you know, it was definitely home.
Ice Cube and everyone else had very definitive ideas about what the barbecue should look like. And then ironically, they got really into what the kitchen should look like.
Yeah, you know, Brothers Barbecue, you know, growing up in the hood, you go to a couple barbecue joints, so you know what they look like.
Elroy, Mama's in the kitchen with the sauce. Oh, let's go, man. Oh, shit, the sauce. Move, girl.
I kept saying, this is going to be like a talking headshot. I can't believe we're going to spend all this time in the actual kitchen. And Ice Cube was very emphatic. He said, no, even if I have to drive a scene into there, we have to have a really good barbecue.
Sometimes when the set people are putting it together, it don't really quite have the atmosphere it should. And you got to kind of go in there and say, hey, man, this is looking too clean up in here, you know what I'm saying? We need a little grease.
So I said, all right, we'll do a really good barbecue.
You back here cooking pig feet with me at Brothers Barbecues.
Tied tongue, dog catcher.
Best go check on the sauce. Your mama's out on the feet again.
Can I help you?
I just walked in the store. Let me look around a little bit. Dang.
The second store we had a lot of fun with was Pimps and Hoes. And that, again, was a really crazy design because you just couldn't push it enough. You know, we kept saying, okay, we'll do this, and no, it's not crazy enough. Make it crazier. And then it was just a matter of finding all that crazy stuff because you just can't go to a Pimps and Hoes and pick up a bunch of stuff.
I like this poo-poo sweatshirt with some socks.
Another good store we had a lot of fun with was the donut store.
Holy moly donuts. But trust me, don't ever, 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 ever eat there.
That was very tricky because we actually had to go into a working sushi restaurant and turn it into a donut store.
We'll take the usual, Molly.
Well, lo and behold, turns out that the Japanese are not going to part with their $50,000 custom-made sushi bar. So the first thing we're doing is having to turn a sushi bar into a donut counter, for that matter.
Hey, Molly! Hey, Willie! How you doing, boy?
When you see the actual scene, you see the way they're shooting around it, I think everyone was very proud of what we had accomplished.
Give me a twister. Make it two. Hold it flat.
And then from there, we had to, once we figured out exactly what we were going to do with each store, create the signage. It's basically your mall directory. It tells passersby what's on there. And there were definitely some funny stories where you have guys coming in and saying, Pimps and Hoes, yo man, what is that? You know, they're literally reading the signage on the side of the street and they're wanting to pull in. So we knew we were doing our job. There was a fun little guard shack that we had to deal with. The biggest thing about the guard shack was that it didn't exist. So we literally had to create it from scratch and then make it look like it had been there for over 30 years. And that was actually one of our first big design challenges because, again, it's too big, it's too small. Well, it's really meant for one guy. Well, it's got to be Ice Cube and his partner. All right, well, how big is that? We ended up coming up with just the right size. And our DP did a great job complementing the size with the appropriate lens so that you'd actually be able to say, damn, there's no way you can fit two brothers in this thing.
They need security in the world, Craig.
The donut was something we literally went back and forth on because that's the first thing I said. Well, how crazy is this mini mall gonna be? I mean, have a huge donut or something like that for the donut store? Oh, no. You don't want to go with a big donut because that's just silly. And sure enough, we did the initial mock-up. I had to build a small-scale model. And I had that donut standing by because I knew that at least we could pitch it to them with everyone in the room. Marcus would have to say, yeah, I think that's a good idea. So that's exactly what we did. So we pitched them the donut, and of course everyone loved it. And then it's like, where do you get a 16-foot diameter donut? Well, they don't exist, so you have to build it. And it ended up figuring fairly predominantly in the scene. The next location that we had to literally totally change out was the actual apartment complex, Shady Palms. You always have the challenge of matching your exteriors to your interiors so that you can cross-cut very quickly between your interiors, which of course are sets. And then also our DP was very adamant that we met with a certain color balance because you're dealing with very dark skin. And it invariably becomes a very big challenge for both the DP and the art department to jive on the same level because what the proper exposure is going to be for the camera and for the film stock is maybe not going to be complementary to our art direction.
Picture old dirty bastard in a Santa Claus suit. Can you picture that?
I really like to involve my wardrobe people with my production designer and my DP because everybody's got to work in sync because it's all towards the same goal.
Camera and action.
Is Ice Cube the kind of guy who's going to have a multicolored apartment? And we went in and made it really spotty, and I was just like, oh, he's not going to like this. It's just not jazzy enough. And Marcus expressed the same concern. He's like, guys, you got to kind of like rev it up, even though I was supposed to be living literally by his shoestrings and having no money. So we went in and kind of bumped it up a little bit.
10 more minutes before Christmas.
We had to start from scratch on all the Christmas stuff.
What is Christmas like in Compton? On the abandoned house location, a very, very poor, destitute neighborhood, our location manager went to each and every house and said, look, if you have any Christmas decorations, we just love if you could put them up. And they were very proud and said, yeah, man, we got Christmas decorations, we'll put them up. And there was like one seedy string of lights, and none of the lights worked, or one reindeer that was dead.
On the reindeer on Shady Palms, we had to like put them in, knock them over, everything had to be just right.
It's just making sure that this film was going to be the best film, and it was going to just meet that middle ground between really campy comedy stuff that was going to make you roll your eyes, and try to be a little realistic, so you could really say, man, this could happen. Yeah, I can see that, Mom. This is something that could really happen.
You got knocked the fuck out!
I just want to thank Lennox Lewis for giving me an opportunity to come out here and fight his manager, Emmanuel Lewis. And I just want to ask Lennox Lewis if we can do a rematch. And I just want to thank Lennox Lewis and Emmanuel Lewis and Scooby-Doo, Superman, and for the wonderful opportunity in knocking me on the cold ground. I like Tyson.